We are going to recess this public meeting at 5:20 in order to conduct the regular board meeting of the California Military Institute. Yeah, perfect. Okay, we are reconvening at 5:33 for the regular public meeting of the Perris Union High School District. And the first action item is 8.1, revision, adoption of the agenda for today, January 18. Do I have a motion? Mr. Garcia first and Mr. Nellison second. Please vote. Excellent. The agenda has been approved, 5-0. Thank you. Report out of closed session.
Nothing to report out of closed session, President Arao.
Thank you, Mr. Bennett. District update by the superintendent.
Yes, we've had a great start to the second semester so far this year. Kids are in class. Things are moving forward. We're really excited about opening the new building at Perris High School, where one of the buildings was completed and it's being occupied by our students and staff now for the second semester. We're excited about that. We'd love to take you over one day and give you a tour of the building and show you around. It's a really beautiful building, and really the kids are very proud of having that at Perris High. We did have, but just before winter break, we did have a student at Heritage High School that had a TB, and the only reason I'm mentioning it is tuberculosis. Yesterday we had the county health there doing screening with all the kids that could have possibly been affected, and that went really smoothly, is what I was told by Mr. Arce. The beginning part was some hiccups, but they got it straightened out and things went really well, got the kids through the process and making sure everybody's safe and healthy there at Heritage. At this time, I want to ask Dr. Marilyn Salcedo. She's going to be making some presentations. We had some kids that participated in what's called the Future Innovators of the Next Generation STEAM competition. And we have some students here tonight that are being recognized for their participation in that competition. So Dr. Salcedo.
Okay. Dr. Arao, members of the board, Mr. Bennett, cabinet, and our guests. While I know that so much of what we do is invigorating at our board meetings, one of my favorite parts is when we get to get the opportunity to really highlight the accomplishments of our students. And as Mr. Bennett mentioned, one of those is the Future Innovators of the New Generation STEAM competition. It's a long word because it took a lot of work. So what I'd like to do right now is invite Diane Martin, who is our coordinator of Ed Services, to come up and help me with this. And she will introduce our students and then give you a little background information. Diane?
Thank you. Good evening. So in the spirit of recognizing our great talents here in the district, we have a couple of teams that placed first. It's the same teams from the same school for 2 years in a row. That's got to say something. And we have an essay winner. So part of the competition was an essay and an experiment. So the kids had to pick which team they wanted to be on. So we're going to bring up CMI and their advisor, Lorraine Turner, and can you please bring your students with you tonight? Thank you. So we have three of the participants here, and we have our essay winner. Come closer. It's okay. These are photo ops. Look, see, we have photo opportunities here. Come on over. Yes, there we go. Come. Spread out. So we have Lorraine Turner is our advisor for 2 years in a row. So Lorraine, we want to thank you for participating and working with the students, I'm sure, endlessly in all hours of the day and time. We have Samuel Arda. There you go. And we also have Marion Carlos. These were our experiment winners, and so Sam, I've asked just to share a little bit because I cannot explain what they did. So Sam, could you just take a couple minutes just to share your experiment, what you guys worked on? Of course.
Good evening, board. I would like to thank you for having us here and having us represent ourselves and our school and the district and something that we're very proud of. So the project that we had was we wanted to innovate the future. We wanted to save the children because they'll be our future innovators. So one of the leading causes of death in children is actually the swallowing of button batteries. So the little batteries that are about this big and swallowing of them. What we wanted to is we wanted to protect the children. So what we did was, because the reaction was created by the water in your saliva and between the tissues of your esophagus, what we did was we covered it in a hydrophobic coating, and ultimately our project and what we found out through our project was the hydrophobic coating protected the battery, but it also protected the meat which was represented as the esophageal tissue. Something for us that was really, really inspiring was that some of us are actually volunteers in the hospital. And for us to leave a legacy behind, CMI and also the PUHSD, winning last year first place for the essay competition, also winning first place this year, again, was really, really, really important to us, and that we were so glad to have left a legacy. By the time I leave, Carlos, because we are seniors, and we are leaving it behind to Miriam, who is a junior.
Pressure there.
That was it. Thank you.
The last, I'd like to introduce Melody, who was our second place essay winner. So she's just going to share just real briefly what she wrote on.
Good evening, board and members. So basically, I wanted to talk about, since our group, since I wanted to do the essay and they did the group project, they focus more on the health of the babies. I wanted to do a more broader and focus on all humans. So one of the main leading causes of death nationwide is water pollution. So I wanted to focus on a concept that can help decrease the health, improve the health of many, because it's a nationwide problem. So there's a concept, it's called Life Straw. It's a portable water filter that filters all types of water, 99.99% of all bacteria and germs. So because of this, it will help improve the economy and health and of the such. So, yeah, it's a good concept. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Isn't that just awesome? I just love my job, especially when we get to recognize these wonderful students. So I'd also like to bring up our Penicotti team. We have 6 participants and their advisors, Brenda Harris and Eric Anderson. They brought some of the items that they had on display at the event. Yes, please. So we have Caden Barton, Ivan Ortega, John Polito, Javier Reyes, Stephanie Rios, I'll let you, Fernando Rodriguez, somewhere behind me, and Brenda, and Eric will get yours. Sorry, I apologize. So I'd like to, again, want to thank them for their participation. Brenda has been the advisor for 2 years this year. Eric joined on, and Eric is also part of our robotics as well, so we're very excited that Penicotti's got a solid team. So you'll be seeing them up here soon. I'm sorry, Joe? Oh, yes, you guys come closer. Oh, my goodness. I know.
John.
Oh, my God.
Front, buddy.
Oh, heavens. Oh, here. No, you got to come up to the front.
You got to go in the front of the podium, too.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. Come closer. There we go.
Diane, would you like to call Greg Wise?
Yes. So I apologize, but
Vintage,
can
huh?
Mr. Weiss also join us? Because I know Rebecca is not here. I apologize. The site administrator. Thank you, Greg. I know. I apologize. So I'm just gonna have one of the advisors. I think the students are a little shy right now, but we're going to have them share a little bit about their experiment.
If any of the students want to go ahead.
Yes, starting from.
Anybody feel like taking center stage?
Yes. Go for it.
You guys want to try?
There we go.
Nice.
What we're trying to do is we found out that last year that there's problems trying to save water because there's droughts. So what we did is we built a sensor using the little bits, and we built a mini model of a little robot. The robot was a person, and we built the little shower head, and we just basically what the little bits do is it's a sensor that calculates the data of how much water you use, and it sends it to a program. A program calculates it for you how much you used, and you get to know how much water you're wasting or saving.
Good job, Fernando. That's really good. That's pretty much it in a nutshell. A lot of moving parts in that experiment. We never got a fully finished prototype built, but we got pretty far. And even for that effort, it was pretty impressive. And the kids all had to stand in front of they had to stay by the experiment while the professionals from STEM fields came and asked them questions about it, and they all had to respond, and so they all did a great job, especially our talker, Fernando.
And also, they created this for just 1 week using this prototype materials as well as the sensors, just for a week. Awesome.
Thank you guys very much. Thank you.
I'm still. Okay.
So just to quickly wrap this up, the event was sponsored by Steps Ahead, Mr. Kevin Jackson. He couldn't be here tonight, so we didn't want to postpone this any longer because the event was in October. The students will be receiving a cash certificate, which he will be dropping off that we'll disperse to the admin to get to the students. So I just want to thank you very much for your time. This is a wonderful thing that our kids are doing. We will be back next year with more good news, and actually probably another month with our robotics too. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Diane. And I just want to say congratulations to the students. Excellent job. I was really impressed. We are very proud of you. And thank you to the teachers, the advisors for your commitment to our students. And students, you are our present as an educators, and you are our future as a society. So we know that we can expect great things in the future. Thank you again, and congratulations.
That's great to see what our kids can do out there when they really get a chance to innovate and get the chance to create things on their own. Dr. Rouse said in the invocation about we had a former teacher of ours pass away on Friday, Ms. Victoria Ortega, great math teacher over at Paris High School. When she came in, she asked to have the most challenging kid, not behavior-wise, but the kids that have the most struggle. She worked with our lowest scoring kids, and she asked to work with our EL kids. And by the end of the year, her kids were outscoring the kids what we call in our regular classes, whatever regular classes mean. Just a great lady. She was very determined, and she's going to be sorely lost to our community and to our district. Her husband still teaches over at Paris High, and her daughters still teach over there, doing a great job. And our thoughts go out to her and her family. Coming up in a couple weeks, we have Ed Camp Paris coming up on February 11th at Paloma Valley High School. This is our third annual Ed Camp here in Paris. Those of you that want to attend, if you're a staff member or a student wants to volunteer and help out, we're always looking for people to help out. You could talk to Mr. Williams over here on the end. He'll tell you how you can get involved with it. But it's just a really neat event. For staff, you drive your own learning on how you're going to use technology and how you could use technology in your classroom. Last Friday night, I was able to attend the California League of High Schools Educator of the Year Awards dinner. out in Ontario, and we had one of our teachers up for the award. She was one of the 10 finalists, 5 from Riverside County, 5 from San Bernardino County, and she was recognized for being one of the top 10. She didn't receive the ultimate award, but it was great to have one of ours in the top 5 for Riverside County, so that was a great event. I mentioned it last month, but I want to mention it again. Oh, I'm sorry. Dr. Risa Rosenstein from Paloma Valley High School. I'm sorry, I was saying a teacher. Thank you. I am going to say Joe Williams is a finalist, and I mentioned it last month for Education Week's Leaders to Learn From Award. And they're coming out on the 31st to take some pictures. We don't know for sure if he's won yet, but I think it's a pretty good chance since they're coming to do a photo op with him out at Paloma Valley with some of our students, so we're keeping our fingers crossed for that. I'm going to give Tanya a chance to talk of our Employees of the Year this year for our district, and she's going to announce those. We have an event that'll be later on in the year, our awards dinner, but we want to recognize those people at our board meeting tonight also.
Good evening, and just like Dr. Saucedo likes to announce kid awards or student awards, I love to announce employee awards. So if I could have Julie Zerold, Carrie Bobbitt, Lori Ortel, Gary Miller, and Kathleen Reed all come up here with me for a moment. Miss Julie Zerold, I would like to congratulate her on receiving the Certificated Administrator of the Year Award for the district. Congratulations. Carrie Bobbitt is our Classified Administrator of the Year for the district. Congratulations. Miss Lori Ortel is our Confidential Employee of the Year. Gary Miller, teacher at Paris Lake High School, is one of 2 Teachers of the Year for the district. Congratulations. And Miss Kathleen Reed is our Counselor of the Year for the district. Congratulations to you. We will be having our Employee of the Year ceremony later in the spring, but I wanted to invite them to the board, and then we'll have our remaining 3 come in February. Congratulations to all of you.
And then I just have one other item on my list. I want to wish Lori Ortel a very happy birthday today. And that concludes my report, Dr. Rouse.
29. Happy birthday, Lori. Thank you, Mr. Bennett. We continue with our meeting. And next we have our student representatives to the Board of Trustees, Mr. Nellison.
Okay, from Heritage High School, student representatives Daniela Lopez and Ashley Garcia. Good.
Hi. Good evening, President Arau, members of the board and Superintendent Mr. Bennett, and members of the cabinet. My name is Ashley Garcia, and this is Daniela Lopez. We'd like to share some of our recent happenings at Heritage High School. Our staff of the month are 2 awesome people who work hard for kids. Alejandra Garcia. Hi. Okay. Is our classified staff member of the month. She is our community liaison and has put on lots of events for our parents and community members. Cherry Adame is our lead counselor. She is all about supporting our students and giving them lots of opportunities for success after high school. Yen Nguyen is our student of the month. She is a very hard worker and was recently awarded over $100,000 in scholarships to attend Cal Lutheran. We're very proud of Yen's hard work and dedication.
One of our girls in robotics is getting $25,000 a year for Cal Lutheran University.
We had over 300 kids participate at the Heritage Cup Ag Field Day during the winter break, and we had 2 teams win first place and had 3 individuals who won their contest.
Congratulations on finishing your doctorate program, Dr. Wargo.
The band winter concert was an amazing show. Standing room only, great mix of drama and music. Our choir did a great job, and there were some awesome musical pieces.
We had a Jingle Bell project before going on winter break. 38 students were homeless or foster received presents over the winter break. Also, the Winter Wonderland Fiesta had over 100 attendees from our community. This event was coordinated by lots of people, and we had a great time opening our doors to our community.
We had our peer leaders uniting students doing a powerful presentation this week that centered around cultural diversity. The students presented to several classrooms, and this prompted some good conversations about cultural awareness.
Upcoming events: Barefoot in the Park, drama production 20th, 21st, 27th, and 28th. Freshman Ice Cream Social, January 26th. Morph Week, January 30th through February 3rd. Monsters Inc. themed. Spirit Week, Pep Rally, February 3rd. More Black Light Dance, February 3rd. Key Club Blood Drive, February 8th. Mr. Heritage Pageant, February 10th. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Twyman.
From Paloma High School, Victoria Tangway.
Good evening, President Rao's board, Superintendent Bennett, and Cabinet. I'm Victoria Tangway, representing Plum Valley High School, and I'm here just to pretty much give you what we're doing lately at our school. Oh, is this a clicker? Well, we kind of already congratulated her, and I think she left, but our counselor, Kathleen Reed, got a congratulatory visit from our cabinet for winning District Counselor of the Year, so we kind of wanted to thank her for everything she does for our students and our employees. Yeah, we can clap for her even though I think she left. Right? Yeah. Okay, and then we kind of already covered her too, but the nominee for Educator of the Year, Dr. Riza Rosenstein, she was 5 out of the Riverside County and 10, I think, the top finalists. This is our NJROTC Commander Thomas Garcia, formerly retiring from the Navy. Over the break, our Color Garden cadets joined him and his family celebrating this honor. Pretty much congratulations to him, and we're really excited to bring his knowledge and leadership to our school and show our students how to be somewhat like him. These are our athletes of the week. Cameron for wrestling, Amara and Marissa for girls wrestling, Nathan Brown for wrestling, and then all the way to the right, Robert or Cole for boys basketball. Here's our picture of our girls varsity soccer team and our captains, Lindy Baca and Sophie Nicotero. They took second in the Beaumont tournament over the break, and they're 3-1 league right now, so hopefully we keep up the good work. And then this one's a super exciting one for our school. Girls wrestling takes first for the Sunbelt League. This is the first year we've done girls wrestling at Paloma Valley, so we're kind of making a name for ourselves, which is awesome. And our coach, Robles, he pretty much thinks that it's going to be something special, and he's really excited to see where we go. And pretty much the point of this was we won 66-12 in a girls' duel, which is awesome for our first year. So, yeah, we want to congratulate them. I wish everyone could be here so they all know how special they are. And then UCR Mesa hosted a hackathon, and
a couple of our students had applied, and we were creating a game from a scratching program, and we won first and second place, and that's just a brief description and picture of what our game looked like. And then this is the Paloma Valley High School Interact Club, and they got to be a part of the Rose Parade and go down there and help decorate, the Rotary International Rose Parade float, which was super exciting and awesome to attend because that's one thing I want to do. And then, like High School Musical, and we say once a Wildcat, always a Wildcat, our PVHS alumni, Christina Rodriguez, played soccer and football while she attended Paloma, and she graduated in 2015, and now in 2016 she was Rookie of the Year for Biola University Girls Soccer, which is awesome. And that concludes tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Victoria. And now from Paris High School, student rep, Melissa Vasquez and Brisa Cardenas.
Good evening, President Arauz, board members, Superintendent Bennett, and Cabinet. I am Melissa Vasquez, ASB School Board Representative. I'm sick. I'm sick, but Alex could unfortunately not be here tonight. But Brisa's stepping up since she will be taking over next year since, I'm a senior, sadly. But it's okay, we're not there yet. Okay. So, winter formal, it quickly became a tradition that our school launches off winter break with winter formal. And it was again this year sold out, and it was filled with the Festival of Lights, food, fun, royalty, and dancing. It was held in downtown Riverside at the Life Arts Center, and our theme was Alice in Winterland. As you guys mentioned, our new building was opened up in Paris High, and it's great to see the students excited about the new buildings there. Hundreds of students are now taking FAPA, ASB, AVID, Medical, and Earth Science in those buildings, and most of my day has been in there, and it's great.
Okay, so hi, I'm Brisa, and I'm here to talk about the school senate. As we start our new year, our student senators have already had their meeting last Wednesday. They discussed topics about how we can improve our attendance and how we can keep our campus clean. I personally have been in the student senate, and we've made pretty good progress, so I hope to keep that up this year and oncoming years, hopefully. And I'd like to give a big congrats to Anaí de Leon Jimenez, an amazing student, athlete, and person. She's a great teammate because I have her on my soccer team, so she's really good.
That's it for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Melissa and Brisa. And Melissa, I hope you get well soon. Okay, full recovery. Okay. Now we have PSEA President, Ms. Vicky Buehler. No? Sorry, that's right. Oh, I clicked on that one there. Okay. I'm sorry, Pinacari Middle School. I should have scrolled down instead of the next item. Trustee Stafford. Trustee Stafford.
We're all looking at the next one.
Okay. Trustee Stafford.
Okay, from Pinacati Middle School, we have student representatives Sierra Mingo Gaines and Angeles Robles.
Good evening, Dr. Arauz, members of the school board, Mr. Bennett, and members of the cabinet. I am Angeles Robles, Vice President of ASB, and with me is Fabian Guerrero, 8th grade representative. Sadly, Sierra, our ASB president, couldn't be with us. Winter Arts Nights was a huge success. This evening began with the election of PTSA officers, followed by performances by drama, dance, the band, and art displays. The house was standing room only.
When you get a chance, check out the videos on Facebook.
The Arts Department wants to give a huge thank you to all of the AVID and ASB students who helped out at Arts Night and our community service hours.
The Puma Press student newspaper will be published online 3 times during the spring semester.
Look for the Puma Press link under About section of the Pinacate website.
This semester, there are 17 active clubs on campus.
We have added a new club this semester, Bible Club, that started today. Puma Robotics is currently competing in the First Tech Challenge FTC for the Los Angeles/Southern California area.
On February 4th, they will be competing in the 24-team Interleague tournament at the Flabob Airport in Riverside with the chance of ultimately to make it to the World Championship round.
2 student Pinacate Tech IE groups have been selected for CUE Student Powered Showcase in Palm Springs. 1, Mr. Eric Anderson's class, Finding the Magical in the Everyday, a Journey into Abstract Photography. His group was also invited to SBOCOE, an RCOE Technology Leadership Network meeting in February to present the project. The focus of that meeting is STEM.
Ms. Brenda Dazan Harris's class, Design Thinking in Action, will present the design thinking process to attendants centered around developing solutions to plastic pollution.
Basketball. Both the boys and girls basketball teams are at 2 wins and 0 losses. Both have just finished their 3rd game of the season in the last hour against CMI.
Stay tuned every week to the Peak of the Week for what's happening.
For our upcoming events, on the February 9th, we have the Sweetheart Dance, and February 13th through the 18th, we have Yellow Ribbon Week, and for February 14th, Valentine's Day. Don't forget your sweetie.
And lastly, we have our Winter Sports Rally, date to be announced soon.
Thank you for listening, and as always, stay positive.
Thank you, Sierra and Angeles. Great job. Trustee Garcia.
From Paris Lake High School, student representatives Hunter Wilson, Larissa Morales, David Contreras, and Nathaniel Mota.
Good evening, Governing Board and Cabinet members. My name is Hunter Wilson, a member of the Paris Lake High School ASB. Standing right next to me are my fellow ASB members, Larissa Morales, David Contreras, and Nathaniel Mota. First and foremost, Happy New Year's, everyone. We would like to summarize a few things that took place on our campus, beginning with important events that occurred prior to winter break. We had a very successful clothing drive in November with the help of members from the community. Many items were collected for women and boys and girls of various ages, including toys for the children, and they were donated to a shelter for abused women and orphanage. In December, we had some holiday cheer sprinkled around our campus in hopes that everyone would really enjoy the holidays with a family member and come back recharged and ready to complete the trimester. Many of our ASB students dressed up and participated in a photo session with Santa and karaoke as well.
At our monthly SOAR Awards, we had 104 students receive awards, which when you think about it, it's seriously impressive. We had a wonderful turnout with the number of family members that came to support these students. SOAR Awards are given out to students who have earned them with an impressive grade point average. Mr. Miller, Certificate of the Year, was last month named one of 2 teachers selected for District Teacher of the Year. Ms. Johnson was named as Rookie Certificate of the Year. Congratulations to Mr. Miller, Ms. Johnson, Ms. Cooper, and Ms. Davis. Our Student of the Month, November, was Hunter Wilson. Congratulations right here to ASB President. Paris Lake High School earned Common Sense Education Digital Citizenship Certification. Thank you to the A+ teachers, ELA department, and youth law teacher for teaching the required lessons.
Finally on our agenda is our upcoming blood drive that takes place on February 3rd. Now, the blood drive is seriously important not only to us here at the lake, but I'm sure it's important to anyone who is in need of a blood donation, and I urge everyone in this room to show up to our blood drive, hosted by Livestream, on February 3rd so you can donate blood. Remember, just 1 pint can save 3 lives. We would also like to invite you to our open house night, which will take place on February 16th. We look forward to seeing you there. Lastly, I want to thank the governing board, the cabinet, and Superintendent Bennett for inviting us here to share the events here at Paris Lake High School. Thank you all, and don't forget about our blood drive on February 3rd. And don't forget to have a phenomenal evening.
Thank you, students. Great job. Really. At this time, the students, you are welcome to stay here, or if you would like to, you are welcome to leave if you decide to do that. Right? Okay. Now, yeah. Okay. Okay. Now is Ms. Vicky Mueller's turn to present an oral report. Ms. Vicky Mueller, President of PSEA.
Good evening, Dr. Odero, Mr. Bennett, Board, Cabinet. Happy New Year. And I brought cupcakes because yesterday was my birthday. So, yes. So, we had leftover cupcakes. Well, things have been kind of quiet. So, I don't have a whole lot, but I do have some things to discuss. The TB screenings that we talked about, there were some concerns about how students are returning to class, and I guess that was taken care of fairly quickly. They were coming in with bloody cotton balls on their arms and no place to dispose of them. So maybe some people need to talk to them about universal precautions. We don't want bloody cotton balls on the floor, on desk, things like that. So that's one thing. One of the big concerns, though, was that when we had a student at Pentecostal that was diagnosed with active TB, the entire school was screened. And I get it that, they say that the risk is low, but if it's one person that gets it, that's one person, and now you have another case. So that was the biggest thing in my rep council yesterday that was discussed is, how was that decision made? At what point? Was that a health department decision? Was that a district decision? Where did that come from, that it was only going to be X amount of students, X amount of teachers? That was one. The other concern was that it seems that only at a couple sites there were large numbers of students being moved, and there was a large concern about some core classes, especially math, and how that was going to work for some of these students that were in these year-long classes that might be higher level, and now they're being moved into a lower level class, and how that was going to calculate over as far as credits. There also seems to be some traffic safety issues at all the comprehensive sites, including Pentecostal. And again, I'm not sure if this needs to be a collaborative effort with the cities or who, but fights in the parking lot between parents, accidents, parents making illegal turns, accident over at Pentecostal, fight in the parking lot at Heritage, and there's, I guess, some issues again cropping up at Paloma. the number one thing in all of them is that there's no security visible and no administrators visible. And so, used to be, Grant, and this is one of the things that came up yesterday, you were seen escorting students before, you were out there moving traffic along, you were visible. So I don't know how we fix that, whether it's a collaborative thing or what. But the safety concerns for traffic, we just don't want to see more crosses in front of a school. I mean, in a nutshell, we already have one school with 2. We don't want to see another one. So, let's see. We have an election coming up, so you're going to see some stuff coming out. And we have actually 2 elections coming up. We're going to be conducting an election for the NEA-RA. We have 3 seats. That's for the National Education Association Representative Assembly. And we have 3 seats that we send people to. So you're going to be seeing people on the internet applying for those jobs. So, additionally, we are also in the process of finalizing our registration for the Good Teaching Conference South. And I just kind of wanted to go over a little bit of the courses. There's over 80. I lost my place. Over 80 sessions for teachers to choose from. And so just some of the sessions: Common Core, Classroom Management, Technology in the Classroom, Student Motivation, Musical Innovation, EL, Special Ed, and that's just some of the courses they can choose from. There's a whole lot more. I just kind of picked the top ones. And so I want to thank the district once again for supporting that partnership and allowing us to send some teachers to that. And teachers also wanted to say thank you for the discipline tab and how that we were finally able to get that worked out and allow access to that. So publicly, I want to say thank you very much. So that concludes my report. Again, Happy New Year and have a cupcake. I'm not taking any more home.
Thank you, Ms. Mueller. Happy New Year to you too, and happy birthday. Okay. Now CSEA President, Cinda Sarian.
Good evening, President Arau, members of the board, Superintendent Bennett, and members of the cabinet. Thank you so much for having me here tonight. I am Cinda Sarian. I work at Heritage High School. I've been with PUHSD for 10 years now. I just was voted as CSEA president for the next 2 years, and I'm very excited. I feel blessed, totally blessed. So I'm happy to be here. And I'm not here to report anything. I just really want to introduce the new e-board that is with me. They're all new except for one. And I really feel like it's a great group. We're really strong. I think we all have strong personalities. I really think we're going to make a difference. And so let me introduce who we have first. First, we have my vice president, which is Helen Stymack. She started with the district in 2006. She works out of the Student Services Center. I was fortunate to have been able to work with her a few years at Paloma together, and it's great to be back together working. The next is my secretary, Alejandra Garcia. You saw her picture because she was also student of the month. She just reminds me of student. She's fresh out of school. No, she was our employee of the month, and she's been with the district since 2014. She's a community liaison. Next is their treasurer, Lori Hayes. She was our only old-timer on our board now, sorry. But she's continuing on. She's been with the district since 2006, and she works at Paris High School. Then we have our communications officer, Russ Henderson, and he works out of, guess what area? IT. But he's not here. He's a great guy. And then we have our chief job steward, Josh Rushing, who has worked for the district since 2012. He works at Heritage High School. So this is the new e-board, and is our past president, Claudia Davis, here? She will also still be acting as our past president. But I just want to say, this is going to be a great group. Our aim and goal is to just get the members united. Let's bring them together. Let's get morale up. Let's get them involved. I put a survey out. I've already had over 90 respond, and I asked if you'd be interested in committees, and they're all just coming back with wanting to be on all these committees. So I'm just really excited about the whole thing, and I just feel blessed, and thank you so much. And I have one shout out to Judy Miller. Thank you. She had this room booked on the 25th, and we postponed our meeting to the 25th. So we had to go in the testing room. And I said, please, I want to have our first meeting here in the boardroom. And she agreed, and she changed the meetings for us. So we get to have our first meeting here in the boardroom next week. So I'm very excited about that. So thank you so much. And I look forward to coming back each month and telling you what's going on.
Excellent. Thank you, Cinda, and congratulations on your election as a president. Congratulations to all the members of your executive committee for being elected, and the one who was re-elected also. Congratulations. Oh. Okay. The next item, invitation to address the Board of Trustees on agendized and non-agendized items. Do we have any takers? None. Okay. So we go to the next one. Consent calendar is an action item. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Nellison and Ms. Twyman. Second. Please vote. Consent calendar has been approved 5-0. Information item, introduction of promoted and or new employees, if necessary.
None this evening, Dr. Ralph.
Thank you, Mr. Bennett. The next item is also an information, general functions, the Williams Settlement Quarterly Uniform Complaint Report Summary for October to December of last year, 2016. Information item, the discipline report for the month of November. Another information item, discipline report for the month of December 2016. The next is an action item, personnel, amended employment agreement for Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Nellison and Ms. Twyman.
Talk about that, Dr. Ralph.
Do I have, yeah, we can.
Just some information on that. We had brought the contracts in on November to be renewed for our assistant superintendents and cabinet, and we'd made an error on Dr. Salcedo's, and this is a correction of the error. She had been moved over already on the salary schedule before the year was over. So we're putting her back to where she belongs, you know. But it was a clerical error that we made when we did that, so we're making the correction. She never got paid any more at that time, but just so it shows up right.
Thank you, Mr. Bennett. After Mr. Bennett's explanation, please vote. Yes, I know. He's taking notes. Who said yeah? Thank you. The action item has been approved by unanimous decision. The next item is an action item also, business, approval of the 2015-2016 audit report. Oh, with the motion and then we present that. Okay, do I have a motion?
Second.
Mr. Garcia and Mr. Stafford. And before we vote, we are going to have a presentation.
Yeah, just real quick, I'd like to introduce or reintroduce for some of you the partner with our audit firm, your audit firm, VTD, Mr. Brian Ruff. He's here to do just a brief presentation and then answer any questions that you may have. So with that, Brian, we'll turn it over to you.
Thank you. We're moving along now, aren't we? So
I was hoping Chris would be here. I wanted to thank him, Candace, and staff. I know he's at a conference.
Yeah, he was at the governor's budget workshop in the traffic back from Orange County. He just texted me. He's at Cahalico, so I said, just turn around and go home. But I was going to do that at the end.
They were worried about me, too.
Yeah, I couldn't see you with all the people. But yes, thank you to Chris and his staff.
So anyway, yes, they provide us a lot of information for the audit, so we really appreciate that. I always highlight the summary of auditors' results, and I think in the years that we've been doing the audit, this is probably the cleanest report, wouldn't you say? I think, we don't even have management letter comments this year. District training at the ASB and school sites has really been effective. And even the items that we do find during our first phase of our audit in the springtime, they're very proactive in correcting those items. So the overall summary of the audit is that the district has received clean opinions in the area of financial reporting, federal and state compliance. So very, very clean report. I think last year I highlighted and emphasized the continuing pension liabilities within PERS and STIRS. In this report now we have a 2-year comparison. That's on page 70 in the report. It's a schedule. That schedule will evolve over time into a 10-year comparison. And what it indicates right now is that those liabilities continue to increase. Clearly, as you know, when you receive budget projections and what have you, those rates are also increasing. So it's very critical to recognize the fact that agencies throughout the state are trying to fund this as well as possible through those rate increases. Forward-looking, the other post-employment benefit liability will also be brought onto the district's books all in one lump sum instead of being amortized over 30 years. That will occur in 2017-18. So it just further emphasizes and stresses the issue of those post-employment benefits that are out there for all agencies throughout the state of California. But very clean report. Thank you again.
If I could real quick, I was remiss. I thanked Chris and his staff, but the audit is actually of the entire district. I know that your staff, Brian, works closely. They have to work with the superintendent's office and make sure all of our and your Form 700s are in compliance. They work with human resources and educational services. They go out in masses to our school sites, so thank you to the school site, particularly the clerical staff that provide you that information. So we are all very proud of everyone in the district for this. I think this is our 10th year without an audit finding if you remove Choice 2000.
Choice 2000, yes. That one was the elephant in the room a long time.
Okay, excellent. Thank you, sir. We appreciate it. Thank you, Ms. Raines. Okay, after the presentation, please vote. Action item 14.2 has been approved by unanimous decision. Next item is an information item, curriculum, revised career CTE course, PC graphics and design. And this course meets the A3G requirements. Another information item, curriculum, another CTE class, CTE course, business, computers, technology, and also meets the A3G. 15.4 curriculum, revised, specially designed physical education course. This is not an A3G. Curriculum, information item, curriculum, revised course, middle school yearbook. Information item 15.6 from the business department is the revolving cash report. (15.7) information item, board policies, business and non-instructional operations, series 3000. And our last item, 16.1, closed session if necessary. I would like to propose to go back to close session to address some items. Yeah, that were pending. Do we vote? Yeah. Okay. Do I have a motion?
Mr. Garcia, second.
Second.
Mr. Stafford. Please vote. Closed session by 5-0. So we are at 6:28 p.m. We reconvene in public session at 7:12 p.m. We'll go to the discussion. The next item is an action item, is the discipline board review of discipline matters.
President Rouse, we're asking this to be tabled till next month because 2 of the board members didn't receive the packets at all yet to be able to review them. So this will be brought back in February.
We need to act on that, right? Do we need to act on that? We can. Okay. Do I have a motion to move the discipline review for the next meeting?
Second.
Mr. Garcia, Mr. Stafford, second. Please vote.
This is voting to table it, correct?
Voting to table, yes.
Okay.
We are just voting to consider this during the next meeting. Okay. This motion to table the discipline, item 18.1, is being approved by 5-0. Okay. Other items by the superintendent?
The only other item I have is the graduation schedule. We have that set, but we need to have see which board member is going to speak at each graduation. So, yes.
Okay, so right now, all of you have the schedule of for our process of graduation starting on Monday, June 5th is a special board meeting.
Yeah.
The first graduation ceremony is going to be Perris Lake, Tuesday, June 6th, in Perris High School Stadium. Mr. Garcia. Mr. Garcia would be the speaker. Wednesday, June 7, we have Pinacati Middle School at 9 a.m. and Perris High School at 6 p.m. I can do Perris High School at 6 p.m. if nobody else would like to.
I can do Pinacati.
Pinacati, okay. Stafford, Araux. Thursday, June 8, Paloma Valley High School graduation at 6 p.m. Paloma, any takers for Paloma Valley?
I'll do Paloma Valley, and I'll also do Heritage again. That's fine.
Nelson. Okay.
4th year in a row doing both.
4 years in a row. I can do Heritage if you want.
If you want to, either way,
Yeah.
I have no problem. If you do one, it's no problem doing 2.
I just mentioned because it's 4 years in a row, so I can participate. I can help also. So it's. You want to do the 5th year? That's fine.
I'll do both of them this year.
Yeah,
That's fine.
okay.
You can take 2 next year.
We have CMI also on
No,
Friday.
CMI we don't usually speak at. Traditionally, that's been the principal.
Okay. Okay. So.
Just one question.
Sure.
Since I've never spoken one of these, what's required?
Like a 3 to 5 minutes speech.
Okay.
You give a message to the.
They're not there for you.
Do you have us? Do you have?
They're not there for you. They're just there to get the diploma.
Well, the shorter the better. But do you have a set, something to say or? Okay. I had to ask. I don't know. I never paid attention to the board.
We're all High School. You're doing middle school, so it's a little bit different for you.
Okay. Well, it's my old school.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
If you need some assistance with that, Tony, we can help you out too.
Same
Okay. Thank you.
You can also call Joan Cooley. She's spoken there a couple times.
I'll take the assistance. And Ed too.
Yeah, one of the.
Number 74B.
Okay. Okay, summarizing, so we are on the same page. Tuesday, June 6, Perris Lake is Mr. Garcia. Wednesday, June 7, Pinacati is Mr. Stafford. I will do Perris High School the same day, June 7. Thursday, Mr. Nellison at Paloma Valley, 6 p.m. And Friday also Dave at Heritage High School. Okay. Yes.
So if you could look at the schedule and let me know
Okay.
I've been to every single one.
Oh, you're on the work then.
Yeah, I've been out of work 2 weeks today.
You can put me down to all of them except Pinacate. Except Pinacate, I cannot Pinacate, but. Go on.
I'm talking to myself. Okay.
Okay. Sure. Tony.
I most likely will be at all of them. I'll confirm.
Okay. Ms. Twyman, you can let her know later on? If you are going.
You'll let her know later. No, you'll tell Lori later
if you can come.
If you can come. Okay, very good. Lori, do I need to email this or you took you got it? Perfect. Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Bennett, for giving me the opportunity.
Yeah.
Can we continue?
That was all I had to report.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. The next item, any other items by the Board of Trustees? Mr. Garcia? Any other items? No, okay. Mr. Staff? No. Mr. Neiman?
That's it, thank you.
Okay. Perfect. Then we have to adjourn, to move, Mr. Nellison, Mr. Garcia, Mr. Garcia second. Okay, please vote.
Hold us up forever.
Okay, this meeting is adjourned at 7:19 p.m. Thank you.
None of us speak at CMI. It's traditionally done for the principal. We're done with CMI.
Yes, because it was not on the agenda.
Remember, that's what we're